Any more from Bryan?
Steve Muehlhausen from DAZN. Bryan, great match. This is a question for really you and Tony. The crowd went nuts for Final Countdown, and it seemed like that was a one-time thing at Forbidden Door. Is that going to be more of a permanent fixture, Tony? Or
Well, it's not all dependent on me. Like trades in sports, it's sometimes everything's in, two parties' hands or multiple parties' hands in this case. So I would love to use Final Countdown again. Hopefully we can keep working it out. I got it for 2 pay-per-views and we were able to use it on these 2 great shows, and I think it was awesome to have that moment in Toronto at Forbidden Door and awesome to come back to Chicago for All Out and have Final Countdown here in Chicago. It means a lot to me personally because I'm such a huge fan of wrestling, and in particular I'm a huge fan of Bryan Danielson, and to have Bryan come out to Final Countdown again, the first time I went, as he'll attest, I went absolutely crazy. It meant a lot to me and a lot of people backstage. And then to do it again tonight and have the Chicago fans get that experience. I think everybody, you heard the crowd, they went nuts for it. I'd love to do it again, and I think it really is beneficial also to the band and to the rights holders because we've seen, I track the charts, and I haven't been able to look tonight, but I did look around Forbidden Door, and Final Countdown moved way up in the iTunes charts, up into like a high position, and stayed there for a while after the Toronto Forbidden Door show. And I'm sure tonight, again, there's going to be more downloads, more streams of Final Countdown. So when artists work with us and let us license the music, and we use a lot of great music in AEW, I really believe it's beneficial in multiple ways, because I'll pay a licensing fee gladly because we use great music and I'm happy to pay for it. But also, it's good because I think it gets more downloads and streams for them too. But definitely Final Countdown, I was excited to use it because as far as I know, Forbidden Door in Toronto and All Out tonight in Chicago are the first 2 times in your career that the song has been used legally with permission.
And it's really fun for me, and also sometimes really frustrating because Final Countdown is one of those things that just gets stuck in your head. So I was just in the locker room before this, and there were multiple people going, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, and then it gets stuck in my head. And I'm walking. Internally, I'm not actually humming it, but internally I'm going, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. And so yeah. Also, it's I've never wrestled in the United Center before. Yesterday was my first time in the United Center ever. Every time I see a Bulls jersey, I'm sorry, Chicago, I get a little bit bitter because of the '96 NBA Finals. I was a huge Supersonics fan. I wanted to tell Dennis Rodman that Sean Kemp owned him in that series, but I did not. You guys still won! There's nothing you can't boo me for trying to hold on to one little thing when at the time, no Seattle franchise had ever won any world championship since I had been alive. So if I held on to a grudge for a little bit too long, you have to give me that. But yeah, it's just really cool to hear it in the United Center when I did so many Ring of Honor shows here in Chicago with that, this is one of the things that's fascinating about wrestling and wrestling fans is you would think that people wouldn't know about that, because when I was at my most popular, I didn't come out to that. It was, I thought it was a niche thing. And then and I knew maybe in Toronto and that sort of thing, maybe there'll be some people who will be into it. But to have 2 shows like this where it came out and there's so many people were into it was really cool.